Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Daniel. This is Jonathan. Today we're back with Death Note episode 5. Last time we found out exactly how powerful the Death Note can be.
Right.
And maybe there's even more to it that we're going to find out as the show goes on. But in the right hands, in this case, a genius kid.
Yep.
You know, it can go along. I mean, you could do a lot.
Right.
And you could. He literally came up with that super complex sequence of events to find out his stalker's name.
Right. Which at first episode it was oh man, you can just write names, people die. That's legit.
And even then we're like, man, all the possibilities, right?
Right. Now it's like, as he's had it for a while, as he's thought through all these scenarios, what could it do, and he's tested it out, he's realized what he can actually do. As far as the events leading up to it, how much he can control that person. Like
he knew, if you think about it, he also knew like during that whole hijacking, he would write a note to his girlfriend. He had to have a girlfriend.
Right.
Or girl, because he had to tell her, don't worry, whenever he turns around, I'll grab his gun.
Yeah.
He had to write that note to show someone, knowing that the person behind him will see that note.
Yeah.
And then hoping that they would then say, don't do that or whatever. So that was all part of the plan. So he couldn't just write that note to no one, like to the stranger. He'd tell a friend.
Right, right.
And then he was like, no. And he was like, well, why should I trust you? Like he had this whole plan in place out of how to get his name.
Yeah, he just really thought it out well.
Granted, you could have also like technically done a situation where the killer then asks the person behind the couple to say who he is. I guess he could have just lied.
Right, that would have been could have been a fake name.
Fake name, yeah.
You got him to provide some form of
an
ID.
actual identifier. And he provided it, even though knowing he's probably not a person of interest, he would have already killed him. Right. So meaning in that moment, he already outsmarted the FBI agent.
Now, could he would have to kill the FBI agent though, if he wanted to like use him to get some sort of information out of him.
Man, but you know what though? Like, yeah. So then that raises a question. Can he get the FBI agent to do something that to provide information that Light doesn't have, but the FBI agent does? So like, he's going to kill himself right before he does. He writes an email to this anonymous email address detailing everything he knows about L and blah, 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 blah.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Sends pictures of L if he has them.
If he has them, send a picture of L.
But then you start killing more than just criminals, and that kind of defeats your MO of creating a better world without criminals.
That's true.
For personal gain, which I was wrong. I thought he was going to take the Shinigami's deal to,
I know, me too.
You know.
Yeah, that little smirk, the show got us.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but I guess he can't be too detailed in how they kill himself, because if any detail is not possible, like draw a picture of Light, for instance, then they just have a heart attack, and it kind of maybe negates the rest of the process.
Right. Yep.
I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna go. We're ready to hop into this one. I'm curious to see what information was gathered. I mean, he got his stalker's information, but is he gonna go after him? I don't know. It's like your move now, Light. You know, does Light pick up on this?
Yeah.
And the fact that the FBI agent was gonna just leave him alone after today anyway, like take him off as a person of interest, but he didn't know that.
Right.
So good. All right, we're going to go ahead and hop in, guys. Before we do, please consider subscribing to our channel. Full link to actions over on our Patreon, as well as early access to future episodes. You want to check those out. We're going to go ahead and hop into episode 5.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Tactics.
So
Pursuit was the last one.
No, it's 11, so it's been 5 minutes. 11:50. Is the FBI agent suspicious though now?
I mean, this seems completely.
You there? Yeah? I promise I won't tell anyone that I met you, and of course, that includes my father. Anyway, I don't want the police to know that I've come into contact with an FBI agent either.
Man.
It's obvious that he doesn't suspect me. I'm sure they'll treat this as just another unfortunate accident.
But it is a criminal, man. You start to suspect every death of a criminal, especially in that area
that he was in contact or close to.
The bus I was on got hijacked, if you can believe it. Some junkie robbed a bank 2 days ago, and I guess he wanted to try taking on a bus today.
He's going to come into realization here.
Happened here.
Did he die?
See?
Yeah, probably.
It's a little hard to believe that was all a coincidence, don't you
think? Who is she?
Think about it.
Another
you got on
agent?
that bus because you were investigating someone, right? And now you're telling me that this criminal is most likely dead. Doesn't that suggest that you...
That's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Darling, you and I know you used to be one of the best agents in the FBI. But now you're my fiancé, Naomi. We talked about this. You're not an agent anymore, so just leave it alone.
But
And you wouldn't do anything dangerous. That's what you promised when we decided you'd come with me so I could meet your parents in Japan. You do remember that, don't you?
Man, but she was onto something.
Yeah.
More importantly, tell me how I can convince your dad I'm worthy of his daughter. Kira doesn't scare me half as much as he does.
Man, he's brushing it off a little bit too quickly, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you're about to write down the name of that agent, aren't you?
If he dies right after meeting me, I'll only draw attention to
Oh,
myself.
he's still gonna
I'll
kill
write his
him.
name
Why not write it now and put a
In
week
the
away?
meantime, I think
True.
I'll use some of those inmates I've been keeping alive to play around with Elle a little more.
That's kind of wild.
Evil, bro.
Elle, do you know? Gods of death. Is he trying to tell us that gods of death exist? Tell the police to monitor prison populations closely for the next few days.
What a crazy way to communicate.
Yeah.
Let's just say you're about to see the results of all the research and experiments I've been doing over the last
Shabbat.
12 days. If I write a cause of death and the circumstances leading up to it, I can add a name afterwards and it'll still happen.
Oh.
Even I didn't know that one.
Mr. Ray Penber, turn around and you're dead.
Oh, wow.
I am Kira.
Oh.
Wow. Does he recognize the voice?
This voice. I've heard it somewhere.
Can
But
identify him.
first, I'm gonna prove to you that I'm Kira.
He's about to
That's
drop
right,
dead.
the one sweeping the floor. I'm gonna kill him just for you.
But how?
Man, he killed an innocent person.
No, he's a criminal in that
If I
area.
didn't kill at least one person, you wouldn't believe me.
Oh, I guess so.
Although that man has been repeatedly charged with sexual assault, he's managed to avoid conviction every time due to lack of evidence. He was a menace to society, got what he deserved.
Okay, he's
I can
justified.
I can't kill someone who I haven't seen. I have to know their face. I could easily kill all these people right now if I wanted to.
Oh.
Dude.
I believe you. You're Kira.
I've been investigating you.
Oh.
And if you don't do exactly as I say,
Gosh.
she will die. And so will the rest of your family, including you. I want the files containing the identities of all the FBI agents who came to Japan. Take the transceiver out of the envelope, then put the earpiece in and await my instructions.
Oh gosh.
Transceiver. This thing looks like a toy, but there'll be no record of this transmission anywhere. And it allows us to converse from a close distance, even underground. I
Right.
really thought this through.
Dang.
I'll be close by at all times, which means I'll be watching your every move.
He doesn't
When
know
you
what he
get on
looks
the
like.
train,
Where is he sending him to?
Bro. There's no way I could even... Back to the FBI office? Well, no, he said it doesn't matter if you get on in or outer.
if I have even the slightest suspicion that you're not being honest, your girlfriend is as good as dead. How many FBI agents are currently in Japan?
I believe it's 4 teams, 3 agents per team for a total of 12.
Now take the papers out of the envelope.
Oh?
It's 12 people, the 12 agents.
Of those 12 agents you mentioned, I want you to write down the name of your superior, the one who's heading up this investigation, in the space at the very top of the page.
Oh.
Does
is
he
he
know if he
after?
writes a fake name?
Let's face it, he hasn't really left me any choice. Besides, it's not like he can kill them using just their names.
Any minute now, your boss is going to send you a message with a file attachment. It contains the names and photos of all the FBI agents currently active in Japan.
But this...
One by one, you're going to look at each photo and then write that agent's name in the space provided.
Oh, so then does that mean he had to
It doesn't
kill?
make sense. If he's got the names already, why use me?
His boss emailed him. He had to
Nothing to do with
he had to
it.
plan that, and the only way he can make someone do that is by killing him.
Looks like you're done. When you are absolutely certain that nobody will notice you leaving without the envelope, you can get off the train.
Wow.
I know that voice. Why on earth can't I remember who it belongs to?
That's a little gutsy that he can.
Who are you?
He's gonna die. But he's gonna die right
He's
before.
having a heart attack. Does he see his face?
Like Yagami.
Oh.
Farewell, Ray Penber.
Okay,
He
he
is a
just killed someone that
savage.
is not a criminal.
Right, so
Ray
now he's...
Penber wrote all of those names on pages taken from the death note. Ironic. Without even realizing it, he was actually signing a death warrant for all of his colleagues. And the other 11 investigators, they all died of heart attacks after receiving the same file.
So then he frames the director or the boss. It almost is like framing the boss.
And he was saying, but that's what he was saying, that I found out that even after the fact, if you write the names, it'll still happen.
Yeah.
So then he wrote all the agents' names, which killed them all.
But he didn't see the Shinigami. He maybe wasn't around, but
he may have not seen. I don't know if they just appear unless he was with Light in that moment. He would have seen him. We haven't seen him, so we don't know if he's there with them or not.
Well, no, he was in the courtyard or whatever, because he said you're about to see the
right.
results
We just haven't seen him. We didn't
experiment.
just see him on the train, or maybe we did.
Bro, that was savage.
Okay, the human who touches the death note can recognize the image and voice of its original owner, a god of death, even if the human is not the owner of the note.
So even if Kira Light has never seen the picture of these agents, because the person writing the name down has and knows them, he can kill them. They can be killed.
Well, no.
So the human who touches the death note can recognize the image and the voice of its original owner, a god of death, even in the human is not the owner of the note.
Oh, because that FBI agent knows what they all look like as he's writing their names.
Well, right, but that's a thought that's not, I guess, related to this. This is just pretty much saying that the person who touches the death note can recognize the owner, the god of the death, which would Shinigami. Like I said, he didn't see him, but the other criminal who died on the bus that got hit by the bus did see him.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
That's what this is saying here.
Right, I got that. Yeah, I was already thinking. This made me think about whenever the agent was writing the names down.
Right, because he saw the pictures of them. He's writing the names. He's in essence the owner at that moment.
Just at that moment.
Yeah.
For that one page.
Dang, crazy.
So there could be multiple owners of the book. If you rip out all the pages and just hand it out to a group of people, they all have a page to kill anybody with.
Right. Unknowingly.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
God, and there's no way he would know all the faces of the agents.
Right.
But that guy does now because he got the email.
Mm-hmm.
That's smart, dude. All right.
That's nuts.
All right, here we go. But again, he's killing a lot of people that were innocent. The person in possession of the death note is possessed by a god of death. Is the original owner until they die.
Mm-hmm.
All 12 died of heart attacks. I can only assume that Kira is behind this.
Right.
You're off the
We're
case.
calling off our investigation.
Dang.
According to him, it seems that you arranged for the FBI to come to Japan and investigate everyone here associated with the task force.
Right.
Yes, I did.
So how do you explain this? Are we now suspects in our own investigation? I find it unbelievable that you would spy on us. The very people working with you on this case.
It's obvious he'll kill anyone who gets in his way, whether they're criminals or not.
Man.
So much for his sense of justice. He's a murderer.
Right.
Do you know gods of death
Why is he telling him that?
love apples?
What?
Why is he telling him that? Dang.
Just as a joke?
No,
She's gonna avenge him.
It was murder.
Oh, true. And she was a little sharper than he was, it seems.
I don't want you to be alarmed. The FBI sent 12 of their agents to Japan to assist us in finding Kira.
Does he not have any
And all
guilt
of them
at all?
died yesterday. What I'm saying is there's a chance that Kira will actually try to kill anyone who comes after him.
Dad, you should quit too. I don't want you to die. What if he gets you?
I could never forgive myself if I walked away from this.
I think it's honorable of you, Dad. I'm proud to be able to call you my father. And if anything should ever happen to you, I'm going to find Kira and make sure he gets executed.
Does he suspect of his son?
Probably
We
not.
now know
Not
that
yet.
Kira
but-
does. It's quite possible that we may all be killed by Kira. If anyone wants to leave this investigation, now is the time. You won't be demoted if you choose not to stay.
I'm out. I mean, people who are policemen,
that's him,
a lot of
all
them.
right. There's no doubt about it. I remember him because he told us to get down.
I see.
Oh, she's doing.
Well, thanks for talking with me anyway.
Yep, she's doing her own investigation.
And he's not
It's a bit of a long
suspecting
shot.
her.
Kira could have been one of the passengers on the bus that day, and I know that he's close enough to use this bus route.
Right. Can you look up who bought the tickets?
I'm grateful to see that there are as many as 5 of you willing to risk your lives to face evil.
We're still working
El
with
just
El.
said that he's decided to trust us now. But honestly, what reason do we have to trust him? You never have to show your face, do you?
He
You
can't.
just give the orders.
There's only 6 now, so if information keeps leaking, it's easier to figure out
If all of us are going to work together on this investigation, and if you truly meant what you said about trusting the 6 of us, could you come here so we can all meet in person?
The thought had already crossed my mind. After all, I did say that I trusted all of you.
Oh, that's what that... I don't know what that is.
Is he gonna tell us?
Why is he seeking our help now? There's only
I'm
6
so
of
mad.
us. He sold all these different...
Oh, come meet me at this place.
No.
I think we can trust him. And besides, I don't really see how we can solve this case without his help.
So he probably wants to meet with them in a public place.
There were a number of people on the task force who distrusted Elle before this investigation began.
Weed 'em out.
And once we got started, we had detectives resigning left and right.
In other words, he was waiting for the task force to get narrowed down to only those investigators he could trust. And to do that, he needed to weed out anyone who wasn't totally committed.
They ain't even got the words right.
But I guess...
I'm staying in a suite at the Tato Hotel at the moment.
I guess it's okay if they see each other.
I want you to think of these hotel rooms as the de facto headquarters of this investigation. Please arrange it so you're all here at midnight.
Dang. I guess it's not a big deal if they know what he looks like.
It's only a matter of time before we collide.
As long as
So be it.
if his dad
public appearance as Al.
But he wouldn't want to kill his dad to find his face.
Right. The real battle is only just beginning.
Is this it? He's gonna see him? That's his voice.
Of course.
Damn, that was a good cut. That was a good ending.
All right. Well,
man. So okay, I was trying to think, but then I didn't want to miss anything. So he's allowing himself to be seen by these 5 people. On the one hand, it's easier for him to investigate 5 people. If these 5 people who you really trust know his face, the only way that Light can get
a picture or something.
He's not gonna let him take a picture. Is a sketch enough? All right, are these guys even good sketch artists? Or,
right.
Or because then he'd have to kill one of the officers.
Yep.
To get that information anyway. Obviously, his dad is one, but his dad's not the only one.
Yeah, I don't think he's killing his dad.
So obviously, because Elle knows what Kira needs or Light needs.
Right.
So he's probably thought it all through. He's like, I'll let them see my face. It's not enough. Because they still even if they see this face and sketch it out, they don't have his name. As long as he doesn't give his name, it doesn't matter, right?
Nope.
So he's able to give up one of the 2 pieces,
right? Well, and I wonder if L would work as the name.
Let's see, what are the rules with the names, right?
Right.
Probably not. It's probably has to be like their full legal name.
But I also think the wild card here is going to be Naomi, the fiance,
because he doesn't know about her.
He doesn't know about her.
I don't know if he knew. I mean, he might know that in his research that his girlfriend was also an FBI agent. Maybe he does know.
And I feel like she is going to be able to run through her own investigation quick, because if I'm not mistaken, and I recall correctly, in his death note, he named or listed how many people were on that bus. I think it was like 7 people on the bus.
Yeah.
So it's going to be easy to go through 7 people. 2 of them being him and, 4 people, because 3 of them being the bus driver.
Well, and you would think like a police would show up and talk to witnesses about what happened that day. Them being hijacked.
Or that there would be cameras or something.
Yeah.
That's honestly what I thought at the beginning, or in the middle of that episode. Was it this one or the last one where he killed? No, it was this one where he killed the FBI agent on the bus. I was like, well, surely there's cameras on the bus or in that store that they were in, that shopping center, that would have a video of where the FBI agent was walking and where Kira walked up behind him.
Right. Now he was wearing a hoodie.
Right.
But his face wasn't really covered, so.
Yeah. So I think there still would be some footage. But anyways, yeah, I think Naomi runs through an investigation. Again, like I said, there's 7 people on the bus. 3 of them are her fiance, the bus driver, and the guy that died. 2 of those are dead already. The bus driver gave her the information. So really there's only 4. It's that old couple. And then
a younger couple.
Light and his girlfriend.
No, I think was there not another couple aside from them as well?
No, I think it was only those 7 people on the bus.
Oh, maybe. Unless it was couples, 7 people, yeah.
The 2 couples, the older couple, Light and his girlfriend, FBI agent, that's 5, bus driver, and then the criminal.
Maybe it was 7 total. Yeah. And it wasn't just 7, not counting the bus driver.
Yeah. And then so she quickly investigates the two older couple. There's nothing there, and then that's left is Light, who's associated to the dad on the investigation, and then the girlfriend.
Yeah, I unless you look at public record or cameras, public record or like street cameras, stuff like that.
Yep.
Because she knows what bus he was on.
Yeah.
Look at the camera of him getting on the bus and like just seeing a couple walk on that bus.
Well, and she mentions whoever was on the bus using that bus route likely lives in this area.
Yeah.
And so who lives in that area, like?
Right. And she's going off of her hunch that Kira was on the bus too.
Right. That it wasn't a coincidence that he was on that bus where a criminal died while he was investigating.
Dang, that's wild. That whole sequence with the FBI agent. But he's starting to bend his rules a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not just criminals, it's also people who oppose him.
And that he can get the information from.
Right. And now he knows he can get information. It just requires someone dying every time.
Yep.
And, what does he do? It seems like he's trending towards a situation where what does he do if like this person has vital information? They're totally innocent.
Yeah.
They're not a criminal. They just have information I need. Is he willing to kill him? It's starting to seem like, even if they're not opposed,
right?
Like if it's just a random person that has information that he needs, that he knows that they have it, is he willing to kill him just to get that information?
Yeah,
seems like he's trending that way.
And another bold move by him, just kind of where you mentioned him bending his rules, was letting Rain, the FBI agent, see his face.
Ray, yeah,
before he died. Like that's almost kind of like a little.
He's just like I'm
cocky and like you're about to die anyways. I'll show face. Kind of thing.
I don't know if there's any way to survive that. I think if you're unless there's some other crazy way where like if there was someone else had a page of the death note who also wrote his name in, like, okay, this is like a crazy situation where like, let's say Light writes their name at 4 p.m. This FBI just going to die of a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, someone gets their hand onto another page of the same book and writes on there at 4. Okay, I don't know if you can do it in seconds. At 4 p.m. with 5 seconds or whatever. At 4:01 p.m. or at 4 p.m., just to say 4 p.m. at the same time, the FBI agent will almost die of a heart attack, but not die. He will survive and will live another 40 years or something like that.
Yeah.
So then, since he wrote it afterwards. I don't know how you have that information. He wrote it afterwards. Then that overrides whatever Light wrote.
Yeah.
So then he thinks that they died, but they didn't.
And
they saw his face or whatever information. They can give more information out of it, and he ends up living or something.
Yeah.
Assuming, because what happens if we're talking about this off camera? If like two people have the same page, the same death note, and they write the same name, which one goes
first? Yeah.
And I assumed it's whatever the last note written. So the most recent one.
Yeah.
Is what I assumed. Assuming they're still alive.
Agree.
When it was written.
Yeah. Either way, it's just like you said. It's crazy that he's bending his own rules. So now he's not really only killing criminals. He's killing anybody who opposes them and can get him the information. So, to
make it messy.
But also, he's finding different ways to use the death note. So maybe he could find a way to use it without killing innocent people to get him the information. Like,
you know what?
Reverse engineer it.
Why not just say in the details of their death, you say on February 12th, they're going to email this and do all this stuff. And then they'll die of a heart attack on February 15th, 2062.
Right.
Why can't that be in the details? Does it matter how spaced out it is?
As long as it's realistic is my understanding.
So they still do that. But then
maybe you could only control them within a certain time leading to the death.
Right, because then technically you can control someone
for years. I think it's
why not do that? Like write in the note, like the FBI agent. You have to preemptively think of everything you want them to do, but if you keep it somewhat vague and let like fate fill in the gaps, like every 5 years, this good man's gonna wire me $1 million or whatever.
Get rich.
Yeah, for until the end of time, and then he dies on this day. Like, why can't you do something like that?
Yeah, I think it's because and we might have to go back. I think he talks about something about. I don't know if he mentions a time frame leading up to their death. He can control them when he's experimenting.
Yeah, maybe they talked about that.
With that, I don't know what the time frame is there, but it just seemed like in the moments leading up, not in like the 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, and every example that he's done, he's always done it within a few minutes of their death.
Right.
Yeah. Still opens up a lot of possibilities.
It does. That was a fun one too, though.
Yeah, I feel like Light has really taken the upper hand here, like the initiative. So I think L is about to do something, like, because we haven't seen L do anything that has kind of gotten caught Light off guard.
Yeah, Light's the one been moving the chess pieces right now.
Yeah. So I think L is due for retaliation. We'll see.
Ball is in your court, L.
It's in your court.
I think Naomi's the wild card here. So
and Naomi, she's like the other wild card. Yep. Good episode. Enjoyed that very much. But yeah, that's all we got for today, guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Please consider subscribing to our channel if you do this type of content. Full length reactions over on our Patreon, as well as early access to future episodes. You want to check those out. But we'll be back in a few days with episode 6. So until then, we will catch you on the next one. Peace.